Zero Mile is a Terminus Media production. If you would like to know more about Terminus Media, please head on over to terminusmedia.com. Now, on with your show.
Welcome to Zero Mile, your final stop in Atlanta's geek culture. I'm your host, Kelly McDaniel, and these are my co-hosts.
Zonga Fielding. I'm into giant robots, comic books, video games, and model kits.
And I'm Chris Cowan. I'm into comic books, comic book TV and movies, and a little bit of video games.
And of course, like I said, I'm Kelly, and I love cosplay, prop making, and just a little bit of anything and everything in geek culture. This is our first episode, so thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to go over the highlights of geek culture with a hometown twist in our hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. This is a very fast-paced geek capital of the United States and basically becoming Yollywood, a second home for Hollywood. And we will be here to kind of help you through the news as it comes along. So let's go ahead and get started. What pulled into the station this week, guys?
Well, HBO is teaming up with the WWE to do a biopic on Andre the Giant. Personally, I'm hoping that it goes well. Although there may be a bit of controversy where it comes to one of his rivals who the WWE tried to erase out of their history by the name of Hulk Hogan. But I think it'll be good.
I think that they'll bring Hulk. Not actual Hulk Hogan, but I think that he'll definitely be a part of the movie. He has to be.
I mean, it was Andre the Giant's biggest rival back in the day. I've seen the highlights from the body slam that really tore up Hogan's back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most iconic moments in their rivalry, so I don't see a way for them to cut that out of the movie entirely. Speaking of rivalries and movies going to crap, The Batman is having again more trouble. As we all know, Ben Affleck has backed out of directing. He's trying to focus on writing and just being the best Batman that he can be. Warner Brothers approached Matt Reeves to sort of take over for Affleck. Negotiations have stalled. Reeves might back out, so it looks like the movie is slowly collapsing like a flan in a cupboard.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, is that this is all speculation at this point. When it comes to WB, until somebody says something, official, it is just talk. And the thing is let's be fair, the media does love to portray WB as bad. Why? Because they've been bad, but they can still redeem themselves.
I don't know.
Maybe. I have hope.
But
I'm a true optimist.
Think about it this way, though. How about Mel Gibson, being the director of the second Suicide Squad movie?
Again, speculation, but I don't hate it. I mean, you've seen The Beaver, right? And then he's actually up for, I want to say he is up for a directing Oscar at this point for Hacksaw Ridge, which is going to be, it's one of the best pictures in...
Personally,
for the Academy Awards.
I feel Mel Gibson is amazing in several of his roles, and as a director, controversy aside, personally, I like him.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, but I don't like Suicide Squad, so
it's true.
Hopefully.
I mean, it still has potential. I actually didn't hate it. I just really wish that they hadn't used the villain that they used for Suicide Squad. Because I feel like for a first movie introducing characters, maybe not go into mystical...
Or world-ending stuff when you have superheroes.
Exactly. That was just a little silly.
Couldn't bring myself to watch it. Just couldn't do it.
Good on you, good
buddy.
Well,
in Marvel news, we have less than 2 weeks to Logan. And have you seen that Twitter clip from James Mangold with Laura? Oh my God. Just fair warning, trigger warning. Yes. Basically, just to go ahead and kind of give you a trigger warning if you do go find it, there is excessive amounts of blood and a small child, Laura McKinney, X-23, cutting herself. So can be strong, kind of hard to stomach, but it is just a very powerful clip to show you what exactly is going on. And I, for one, am very excited because if they're willing to do this, which was hard to stomach, because it's children and being tested on. I obviously they needed their R rating, and I'm excited to see how far they go into that comic lore.
I'm excited because we finally get to see Wolverine doing one of Wolverine's jobs that he's had since the 80s, and that is taking young superheroes under his wing. I mean, he did it with Kitty Pryde, he did it with Jubilee, and then he did it with Armor, he did it in the comics with X-23, so we really get the sort of nurturing Logan.
Well, that's...
Instead of Berserker Logan or I'm Angry and Aloof Logan.
Well, I mean, that's why X-Men Evolution did so well, which was also, that's how X-23 came about, was through X-Men Evolution. So, like I said, I'm excited because it seems to be the most true to the comic book characters that I've seen lately, and obviously they're not afraid to go there.
And when it comes to, of course, properties owned by Disney, there's much more coming down the chute.
Owned? Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is owned by
never
Disney.
mind.
Like Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, new photos have been released. There are new toy packagings featuring Rey with a different hairstyle, different clothes, front and center, as opposed to how they did before, where
she wasn't on the packaging at all.
Yeah.
So definitely there is an answer finally to where's Rey. She is going to be everywhere for The Last Jedi.
Of course.
I just want some more of that wonderful Finn Poe Dameron bromance.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, they're side by side with her on the packaging. So obviously it's like she's the plucky friend and they're, like the Ron and Hermione.
Yeah, but she's keeping them apart, and that just needs to stop.
Oh, yeah. She kind of is. She did take Finn away from Poe.
But that's the way it should be.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah. In TV news, let's see. In TV news, I do want to start off because Kevin Smith just confirmed via Twitter, so this is a little BBC America action, that he is in pre-production with BBC America and Todd McFarlane for developing a Spawn TV show based on the homicide detectives in Spawn, Sam and Twitch. This comes off the heels of basically they scrapped Mallrats and the long-delayed Clerk sequel, and after also the stuff going on with Buckaroo Banzai. Yeah. So this is a good thing for Kevin, and the BBC is super excited about it, which is a little weird to me because Spawn is not British TV. It's a comic book.
Yeah.
But
Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, it's Todd McFarlane. So, but this is interesting. And now, of course, Todd is excited about it, but he did not state if this is going to be anywhere like a lead-in into the maybe reboot, maybe sequel, the new Spawn movie that's coming out.
Yeah, I follow him on Facebook, so I'm kind of psyched. I love the old HBO Spawn animated cartoon, so that might be why they're doing it with the BBC, because HBO and the BBC teamed up for a ton of TV shows.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it makes sense for them to get it out with some help across the pond, and then they can dump it through HBO over here.
Well, a lot of it's coming from BBC America wanting to be its own channel away from the BBC. Mostly because of the fact that BBC America doesn't fall under the same guidelines and rules and regulations as all of the BBC channels, since, those are basically like a tax. Like, you get them for paying your taxes in England, and BBC America doesn't fall under that. So that might be why they're doing it. It's just a little weird because of how they market themselves here.
Of course.
Okay, and continuing on the comic book TV news front, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We've got LMDs galore. After last week's mind-bending episode, it's really hard to tell who on the team is still a human and who on the team has been replaced by a life model decoy. So this is going to be some Fitzsimmons detective work in the upcoming episodes. I'm super psyched. Green Arrow took a bit of a sidetrack to do their gun violence episode, with about half the team coming down on the pro-gun side, the other half of the team coming down on the anti-gun
Very
side.
special episode.
Yes, it very much had the very special episode of whatever, brought to you by PBS special, super complicated issue, and it was, to me, kind of a really weirdly unnecessary break in the momentum they'd had going with the new Black Canary and the stuff going on with Oliver and the Bratva. Flash is coming back after their Valentine's Day hiatus with
But I have a question. Are they doing a very special episode?
No.
Oh.
I
I mean, unless you count Gorilla Grodd and maybe some kind of animal cruelty thing with PETA.
yeah.
Okay.
That might
Legends of Tomorrow. It's the team versus Rip in the Turncoat episode based on Revolutionary War America. So we get a little bit more of a behind-the-scenes peek at the Legion of Doom's plans for the Spear of Destiny and what happens when one of the team members has to fight the entire other team. Supergirl, we get the origin of Lena Luthor, the return of Metallo and Cadmus, so they're setting up for the kind of end of the season big showdown. Hopefully with the Luthors. Powerless from NBC is still on shaky ground. This episode is a real big focus on Van Wayne and his daddy issues.
Yep, they still have to find their footing. Of course, we hope they will soon.
Yeah, I might have to punch the ticket on that one.
Give it a couple more episodes.
I mean, I really think a lot of the issue, though, is Bruce Wayne's cousin.
Yeah.
Like, that is a big thing I can't get over. Because...
The keepers of the lore are angry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's big name recognition that they're trying to get, and I really just feel like Alan Tudyk is just coming across way too hard to do kind of a weird Ricky Gervais...
Michael Scott
thing.
Yeah.
And he just needs to be Alan Tudyk and not try to be like Steve Carell and Ricky Gervais.
We should just give him some dinosaurs to play at his desk with.
Exactly.
I think that's what we should do.
There needs to be sudden and inevitable betrayal.
Yes. All right. Well, in comic news, Marvel announced that Baby Groot is getting his own series, and I'm super excited. It's going to be in May, basically like a tie-in to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 that was filmed here in Atlanta at Pinewood Studios. And the rest of the Guardians crew is not going to be alone. They are getting their own little mini-series that is actually written with Jim Starlin, who is the creator of Drax, Gamora, and Thanos. And of course, they will play a heavy part in their mini-series, also due out in May. But of course, personally, very excited about Baby Groot, because Baby Groot is great.
All right, coming from Image Studios, Milk-Fed Criminal Masterminds, powered by Kelly Sue DeConnick and Matt Fraction. They returned with the new issue of Sex Criminals after about an 8-month hiatus. Fiona Staples did the sort of tongue-in-cheek, not safe for work variant cover.
Yes.
For the low, low price of $4.69. Joe Eisman has wrapped up his run on Archie, the Mark Waid reboot for Archie Comics, and he's moving on to the adaptation of the Riverdale TV series, so we'll see how that goes. They also just announced...
Isn't Riverdale in comic book format just Archie?
Basically. Well, they're doing a specific TV show.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Alternate universe, so it'll be like a third Archie universe. And also, speaking of the
bad
Milk-Fed
Archie universe.
Criminal Masterminds, Chip Zdarsky will be heading back to Marvel to write a Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man series.
It's back.
Should be interesting. He's a super off-the-walls writer. If you read any of the earlier issues of Jughead, just total zaniness. Also, his weirdly homoerotic He-Man homage, Kaptara, would give you a wonderful glimpse into the mind of Chip Zdarsky. Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples' Saga has wrapped up their latest story arcs. We're going into tradeway time for them. If you don't read it, great little sci-fi space opera series. I highly recommend it to everybody. And my big ticket item in comics for the week, the return of the Wildstorm universe from DC Comics, headed by Warren Ellis. So we're finally getting...
Wildcats.
In the house.
In the house. So we got Zealot, Grifter, Engineer.
I don't think you got it.
But anyway.
All right. Well, in video games,
we're not quite done with comics yet.
Sorry. I forgot about...
Of course.
I forgot about your comic.
Oh, well, yes, my specific comic. No. Valiant Comics has announced their big comic book event called Rapture, featuring comic books' greatest superhero, known as Ninjak. Yes, Ninjak's great. And it's going to be a Lord of the Rings style epic against the battle, featuring a battle against the armies of Deadside, featuring several of their heroes, just not Ninjak, such as Shadow Man, this ancient Viking warrior who has been battling the armies of Deadside since millennia, and he's grizzled and old, but I'm really super excited about that.
All right.
Yeah.
I will have to take your word for it.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, okay.
But we're going to have to choose to disagree on Ninjak.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so now for video games. Horizon Zero Dawn is going to release on the 28th, so at the end of the month. PS4 exclusive and published by Sony Interactive, made by Guerrilla Games. The character play is you play as a young woman named Aloy who lives in the far future with techno dinosaurs called machines. Wander the planet, and she seeks to find the history of the world and why machines rule the world. It's a little weird, and to me kind of slightly reminds me of Super Mario Brothers.
It's nothing like that. It's you killing robot dinosaurs, and it's great.
And they had that in the 80s when I was a kid, and it was called the Dino Riders and the Dino Saucers.
Well, I guess also...
Everything old is new again.
Yes.
Exactly. Also in video game news, we have Nintendo. Of course, a video of their Switch's UI, well, their console, the Nintendo Switch. Its UI was leaked along with some of the features of the device. I guess someone who got the device a little bit early.
Took it apart, didn't they?
No. There was a bit of tinkering, turning the device on, showing what it can do, showing like the different apps that it comes with, as well as how it works, and touch features, all of that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Pokemon Go got a huge update this week. We had our Gen 2 Pokemon were introduced. Also, the alternate evolutions. So keep on spinning those Pokestops, people. You can get your little items to evolve your Pokemon into their Gen 2 alternate forms. I have yet to find any of the evolution items. I've been spinning Pokestops like crazy, so hopefully we will be able to get our hands on some of those in the near future.
Yeah. Well, Sony's also announced a free-to-play MMORPG featuring 14 different playable classes called Skyforge. As I mentioned before, it's free-to-play, and it's coming soon. They haven't given an announcement date yet. So on to anime and manga. Viz Media, their Jump magazine, has began to cancel as well as end a bunch of their different various manga series. We're now in week 3. And they've started introducing some of the new titles, just images, photos, a title here or there, as well as some of the endings, cancellations. Our Demon's Plan, which ended last week, and the one that's ending next week is Amalgam. So,
very cool. In local news, we do have a couple of dragon sightings. Kind of what Dragon Con calls their guest announcements. Karen Gillian and Billy Piper, 2 companions from Doctor Who, Amy and Rose, respectively, have been confirmed as guests. They are the third and fourth. They're the third and fourth guest announcement. The first being Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, and I'm pretty sure, fairly certain, 100% certain that Matt is the first New Who Doctor that Dragon Con has been able to confirm. So I'm very excited he's going to be there. The second actually is Charles Martinet. He is the voice of Mario, Wario, Luigi, and many, many others from the Super Mario Brothers line and other Nintendo games. So that is a big person. I'm actually personally excited about all 4 guests, but it's very heavily leaning towards Doctor Who. It's like Dragon Con's become Doctor Con. And I mean, I'm excited, but what do you guys think?
You're excited.
Yeah, very excited. What do you guys think?
It's interesting. I'm not a huge Dragon Con goer. I'm mostly a Comic Con guy, and they usually get their own little corner of the
We get the whole Sheridan. The Bridge Track gets the whole hotel. Yeah, what are you talking about? A little corner?
No, I'm saying comic books. We get like the basement of the Hilton,
yeah.
And then we'll split it with the artists, like auction.
It's very true.
Gallery.
Although last year it was changed. It actually, you got a whole section of what was it, America's Mart, because the Hilton was going under renovations. So it might expand.
We'll see. I don't know if I make it down there this year. I'll try to rethink where I put Dragon Con in my hierarchy of cons to visit.
So, guys, quick question though. What are you on the hype train for?
All right, I'll go first. I'm on the hype train. The Wildstorm. I freaking loved a lot of the Wildstorm stuff when I was a kid back in the 90s when Image first came out. I really, really desperately wanted a good Wildcats book with the new 52, and DC just stabbed me in the back and they twisted it around a little bit. So Warren Ellis got his hands on it. I got my hands on the first issue. I read it. A lot of fast-paced reintroduction of a bunch of our favorite characters, so I'm super, super eager to see where they go since Jacob Marlowe uttered those magical words, summon the cats.
So I'll counter that. I'll counter your Wildstorm introduction with Rapture from Valiant Comics and Ninjak. That's what I'll do.
As long as I don't try to do Deathmate again, I think we'll be okay.
Okay. We can agree.
I'm excited that we are definitely getting Ray on everything. And for once, as young little nerd girl who used to only ever have to like see girl superheroes on the cover was like Spider-Girl going into the comic book shop as a child and never seeing anything else. The fact that now like Target and Walmart is filled with, just kick butt, strong women that are leading the pack in action movies is pretty awesome. Okay. I'm pretty excited.
Well, I guess that's our show for today, guys. You can catch me at Zonga Audio on Twitter.
I'm at Girl Friday Cause on Twitter. Definitely tweet at me and I will tweet you back because otherwise I am not on there at all.
You can find me at Mutant Biscuit. Send me a tweet and I will tweet you back. I do not update my Twitter very regularly, but I'll keep an eye out for any of our listeners.
And you can email us at zeromile@terminusmedia.com. And this is Zonga Fielding, signing out.
This is Kelly. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you soon.
And this is Chris. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and share.
And subscribe.